Hey there, it's time to start lecturing over Chapter 10. Now, I don't want to freak you out, but Chapter 10 is kind of a big deal. I know I've said that a lot, but I really mean it this time, I swear. 10.1 in particular is going to lay down, well, really all of 10 is going to lay down some foundations that we're going to be using for the rest of the course. So let's start here. Basically, from now on to the end of the course, we're going to be doing something called hypothesis testing. And it is just what it sounds like. We're going to make suppositions about the world, hypotheses about the world, and we're going to test them. Now, this is an experiment I do in class, and you're not going to be able to do it with me, but bear with me here. So you pretend, or you can go dig out a Monopoly board and find one of your six-sided dice, and you're going to roll your six-sided dice and count the number of fives that you get in 12 rolls. Or if you're really interested, you can look up Dungeons and Dragons dice roller. Actually, you can just look up dice roller online and you'll find it. And you can see I make it roll 20 d6s. I press roll, and I've got all these different numbers. It rolls a 4, a 6, a 4, a 5, a 1, a 5, a 6, right? And so on. Okay? All right, so you can do that. Everybody in the class does it, and you can do it yourself if you like. And then you're going to record the results. So I have some results here that I got from rolling on that online applet. Here they are. Or actually, this is from a bunch of students in class. So I had 2 students get 0, 4 students get 1, 10 students get 2, and so on. And then I have one student, we'll call him student Steve, in the corner. And Steve had all 12 of them turn up 5s. Interesting. So what are some conclusions you might jump to from our results? Let's see. One student had, we'll call him Steve. Steve either lied or something was up with his die, right? Because 12 out of 12 is kind of unusual. Now, what kind of evidence do we have that student Steve is doing something wrong here? Well, you can think of it 2 ways. If he got 12 out of 12, all 12 rolls to be 5s, right? What's the chances of that? Just by accident. Really small, right? So the chances of Steve getting all 12 rolls to be 5s is really low. Put another way, Steve's rolls were far away from the rest of the group, right? So here's the rest of the class with all their different rolls, and there's Steve down there. Let me just show you what that looks like in an Excel spreadsheet, just so you get a sense of this. So here's everybody's rolls. So for example, student 1 got a 6, a 5, a 4, a 4, a 2, a 4, and so on. Right, so here they are, all in a nice little shot. I don't know if you can see it. Here, make it bigger. Right, there's student 19, student 20, student, right? And there's Steve. And instead of having all these different numbers, that's what he got. At least he claims. And by the way, I picked the name Steve because that's the name of my husband. And he's crafty like that. Okay, so let's go back here. So we have some evidence to support the conclusions that we drew. We think something's up with what he did. Now, statisticians, when they talk about hypothesis testing, they're talking about making a statement regarding one or more populations, and then we test it with a procedure. You make your statement, you go gather some evidence, and then you analyze the results. So step 1, what do we assume to be true about these? So the hypothesis would be that the dice are fair, right? Or the dice roller, if you're using this online dice roller, you assume it's fair, right? You assume that it's equal and fair. Okay. Step 2, you roll the dice and gather data. In my case, I put it all in an Excel spreadsheet there, right? But whatever. And then from there, we go back and look, and we analyzed the data and saw Steve's data was weird, was very weird and far from the group. That's hypothesis testing in a nutshell. But we'll talk more about it next time.